that we raised for the Manana Chronicles in here, we sent straight to them as a little like surprise. That because the flood was a surprise, so I was like, you need a good surprise. And so we sent them. So everyone that was here for that was very generous, and we helped them out, and hopefully it helped save animals. And hopefully some of the water was polluted enough to the point to where when like an animal drank it, they became huge and like sentient, like Bebop and Rocksteady. I'm very excited to be here, of course. If you were at opening ceremonies, I got to say hello to everybody and say hi on stage. It was a lot of fun. And let's see, what happened to me? Earlier this week, I went on Twitter. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. It's just Todd Haberkorn on Twitter. If you don't, I think it's fun. But I was at like 12,500 followers, and I was like, man, how can I get that up to 13,000? And I said, here's what I'm going to do. I go, guys, if you can get me up to 13,000 followers by the end of June, I will cosplay as the Man of Steel at Otakon. And so I didn't think it was going to happen because it was like, this was Sunday of this week, and there's only a week left, so they have a week to get 500 followers, and that's I'm no Miley Cyrus. I mean, that takes me a while. And so in 2 days they got it.
Oh my God.
So I sat down and I devised my workout plan, and I took things from what Henry Cavill did for his workout, and I took, because he's 6'1", he's 1 inch taller than me, and he's 10 pounds heavier than me when he's at his norm. So it's about 20, he put on 20 pounds, so I'm 30 pounds from him. I'm not going to gain 30 pounds in 6 weeks. I'll gain 20. I'm going to try to gain 20. So I did the research, I looked at the dieting, I looked at what I had to do, the supplements that I needed to take, the protein, the amount of protein I had to take in, and I'm on day 4 right now of the workout, and it hurts. But I'm dedicated to it, I want to do it. I've contacted some people about getting a custom Man of Steel costume. It's going to be crafted to my measurements and things like this, and when Otakon comes, which is in August in Baltimore, it's about a 45,000 person convention, something like that. I'm going to be the Man of Steel, so I told them I would, and I got to do it. I'm always full. I'm eating all the time. And I'm waking up like I'm getting a full night's sleep, and I'm waking up like the first thing I did today, went to the gym. And I was the only one in there. And I don't like that thing where like the TV's on, and like, what I do is I try to put it on a station to where if anyone else walks in, I'm cool with what I'm watching. But there are times that I want to pop on like a little, cartoon or something like that, and kind of watch it, but then I get distracted. But I don't do that. I kind of, I put it on, there's just some Pokemon or something like that. But I was putting it on the news, and these people came in, and they didn't even ask, and they changed the channel, and I'm like, I wasn't right by the TV, but I was listening. No respect. And so I was in there, and yesterday what happened was, so I was coming from LA, and so they had a layover in Texas. And so I came from LA to Texas, and I had about a 5-hour layover. And so I'm on this new workout plan. And so what I did was I rented a car. I went to the nearest gym. I cried in the gym for 2 hours. And I went back, and I got on the plane. But I'm serious about this. This is about to get real. And so I'm hoping that, I've got to pack on 20 pounds. I did it one time. I packed it on one time for a play that I did years ago when it was like a wrestling show, like a kids theater wrestling show, not like wrestling like step into a Slim Jim, but like collegiate wrestling, like Roman Greco, type of thing. And I put on about 15. So this would be the most I've ever done. So of course I make a big public noise about it because if I fail, it's going to be glorious. But see, the thing about it is there's no failing because the only variable is me. So if I don't do it, the only person I have to blame is me. So I've got to do it. So I've got 6 weeks to do it. Now, Henry Cavill, he had 7 months to do it. Okay, so it's probably not, I don't know how possible it is for me to gain that much weight so quickly, but I mean, Marky Mark, he did it. He gained that much weight for that, what's that movie called? Pump, the one we did with The Rock recently. Painting Game. He did that in a month. He gained that. But again, that's Marky Mark. He has personal trainers. He has nutritionists. My personal trainer and nutritionist, it's a one-stop shop. It's me. So like, it's me getting myself up in the morning. It's me making sure I eat. Can you see that conversation in the kitchen? There's like a whole conversation, a yelling argument back and forth, but it's just me doing it. And so I'm doing that. But anyway, so my name is Todd Haberkorn. If you do not know who I am, if you are in here because you thought this was some sort of workshop on crocheting or origami, it is not. I am a voice actor in video games and cartoons. Most recently, they have announced me in the anime K. I will be in that. I'm in Future Diaries as Akise. Death the Kid and Soul Eater were some Hikaru and Oran High School. I was also Natsu in Fairy Tail. And I did, that's another thing I did for the fans. I told them if we get to 100 episodes, I'm going to get that Fairy Tail tattoo. So the minute, yeah, they're right there. So see, there's another one. Bam. And so the minute we recorded the last line of an episode, we officially, when we recorded the last line of the day, I went to the tattoo parlor, and the director came with me to watch it. And this is on YouTube. If you go to like the Funimation show, it's like episode 6 or something like that. They chronicled the whole thing. And the director was there, and this is my first tattoo. I'm going to get one more, but this is my first one. And the director is a buddy of mine, and he doesn't have any tattoos either. And so he was sitting there, and he wrote the show, and he directed the show, and produced it. And he was sitting there, and he goes, I'm going to get one too. So I got mine, and it hurt. It's no fun. And he got one on his calf, a green one, and so that was pretty cool. But what's funny is, like, you know, I branded myself with an anime-themed tattoo. You know, it's going to be on my body for the rest of my life. I made this pact with the fans to get it done, and the first thing the fans say is, why didn't you get it in red? What the F? It hurt? When? What? That's like Superman when he moved the moon in front of the sun to block the planet. It's like, come on, I was sun tanning! Superman! Great. Let's do all the things you want to do. But no, it was fun. But it was it was painful. But I got them it's a little bigger than what it was originally supposed to be. I got them to blow it up about 20% and put it on there. But like, man, to watch that needle just, I mean, it is like 1,000 times just going, and it's carving it out like Woody Woodpecker in your arm. And then I feel like that hurt worse than the filling it in part. Now the guy that did it, he has 100 tattoos, 105. He has 105 tattoos. He has them from here all the way all over his body. What I want to do is I want to get a tattoo of myself over myself. Like, you don't have a big, it's one big tattoo. I am one big tattoo, see? But you look just like you. That's the thing. So I'm going to get one more tattoo, and I'm probably going to get it in like a forearm area, like right here or right here. So it'll be coming up soon. And it's funny, is the minute I got the tattoo, there was a voice actress that came up to me and she goes, oh, you're going to become a makeup artist's worst nightmare on set. And I go, yeah, because of all those topless movies I do. Usually 95% clothed in the movies I do. No one's going to see that. It's fine. And if you do, you cover it up. The guy that played Bane, Tom Hardy, he has a ton of tattoos. Did you notice them in Dark Knight Rises?
No.
The only thing you were thinking about was, wait a minute, let me get this straight. Batman's getting his butt whooped by Bane right now? Not real. The other thing you were thinking about was, oh, Batman escaped a 6-mile radius nuclear blast. Cool. Yeah, that's totally plausible. Batman died. I believe at the end, what you see at the cafe is the mental ramblings of an old man in grief. There's no way Batman survived the megaton blast in his Batcopter. Okay, that didn't happen. I love Batman. I'm the first person to defend Batman. But come on, the way that shot, no, he did not survive that. Anyway, But, so, other shows that I've done, Natsu and Fairy Tale, of course, and then Watanuki and Holic was a lot of fun. Italy and Hitalia. And then, yes, Sergeant Frog, Ketoro. I gotta look around and see, oh, I'm in Naruto. I'm in several dudes in Naruto. And there's some shows that are coming up that I can't mention, but, Truth in Eureka 7 is coming out. That'll be fun. Now, Ling in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's cool. Now, what we did to record for Eureka 7 was I would blow out my voice in Fairy Tale Land, like complete, because I can only do 4 hours at a time for that. I'll answer it. I'll do it. Oh, okay. All right. But they were, so I can only record for like 4 hours at a time because that voice is pretty brutal on the vocal cords. And so what I would do is after I've blown my voice out, I would go over to Zach's booth who directed Eureka 7 and I would record for that show. So that voice that you hear in that show is quite a bit different than my normal voice because I've destroyed it in Fairy Tale Land. But we've done 96 episodes in the movie. So the movie's going to come out. The movie looks awesome. Looks pretty cool. We rarely get to see everything put together, so it was kind of fun to go in and see like the final video and all that kind of stuff. As far as video games go, what can I talk about? What can I talk about? I think I can talk about. There's so many. The thing about it is there's a lot of them that you can't say anything about, and I don't want to get like, I don't want to get the agents on me and then they come and take me down. What's a video game I can talk about? I don't think there are any right now. But the ones I've done like Street Fighter 4, Rage, World of Warcraft, Silent Hill, Call of Duty 2, or Black Ops 2, Call of Duty. What else? What are the ones? Fire Emblem, and Rune Factory 3, and gosh, what else? What is the name of the game? Not Shinigami? Tensei, right? Where's that one? You'd know it if you saw it. It's by some other name here, but that's what it's called. And it's by, what is that company? Atlas? You know the one I'm talking about, right? That one. That one. And then I think I can talk about, the trailer's out, and you can totally hear that's, I think I can talk about that. Tales of Xillia? Yeah, that game too. So it's a lot of fun. Also, stuff that has come out was we premiered the Star Trek Continues episode, the first episode. If you haven't seen that, it's on YouTube, it's on Vimeo, StarTrekContinues.com will take you there. How many people don't know what Star Trek Continues is? Oh, good. Okay, so here's the deal. So, I play Spock, and Vic plays Captain Kirk, of course. And so what we did was he wanted to recreate. We have the most complete original series Star Trek sets in the world. We've constructed them. In our first episode, for those of you that are familiar with the original series, if you like the J.J. Abrams stuff, the original series is a departure. It's like classic original series Star Trek. But for our Scotty, we've got Chris Doohan, which is James Doohan's son, and James Doohan was the original Scotty, so his son is playing our Scotty. Grant Imahara from Mythbusters is our Sulu. We've got, it's fun to hear him talk on the bridge, because he talks like this. And then we've got, who else was it? Oh, Marina Sirtis, who was Counselor Deanna Troy from Next Gen. She's the voice of our computer. For the first kind of like guest star villain we had, if you guys are fans of the original series and you've seen Who Mourns for Adonis, Michael Force, Apollo, he reprises his role. He came out of retirement to play this role 45 years later. And so he was awesome to see, and he did a great job. It's cool to hear all the stories on set of this guy. If you know that international man of the dude that's like, I don't always do this, but when I do, that guy? Yeah. he was based on Michael Force when you hear this dude's stories. I mean, he was a pimp. Like, he's the man. He is awesome. 84 years old, and he was on set every day as long as we needed. But I mean, he goes, ugh, I miss retirement. And I go, you're just coming out to do this one job? Like, he's 84. He's been making movies for like 50 years. He was done, but he saw the script, he liked it, he came out and did it. The guys that wrote the script wrote for Voyager and Deep Space Nine and Enterprise and things like that, so, ouch. So we got them on there. So it's a lot of fun, so check it out. You should check out the episode. If you love classic Trek, I have a feeling you will enjoy this episode. I hope you enjoy it. The guy that designed our Enterprise was Doug Drexler. And if you know who that is, he's like this Academy Award-winning special effects guy. He did special effects for every Star Trek thing you can imagine. All Battlestar Galactica, all this kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. We shot it for 10 days. I was in the makeup chair 3 hours a day, getting the ears put on, and everyone thinks the hair is a wig, but no, I just resorted to my Asian bowl haircut that I had when I was a child. If you are Asian, you had a bowl haircut. Male or female, you had it. That's just the way it was. It's an easy haircut to get, and it is a signature Asian look, and it's something that we all must have. So I had it for a while. Because I used to, you know, I can see it in my head. I was this chunky little kid with an Asian haircut, and I wore socks, gym socks that went up to my knees, and I went on 0 dates, surprisingly. So, yeah, that's why I became an actor, because I was like, I'm used to rejection. Let's go into the acting business. And I have tried so many creative ways to ask the ladies out every time. Like, my favorite way when I was a kid, and I remember her name. Her name was Casey. I remember her name. So we, you know, in school, like, you partner up and you work with someone else on a project. And so we were working together on this worksheet. And I was like, hey, Casey, what's listen, I got a couple questions about, okay, this right here, what's this? Okay, you think that's the answer to, okay, blah, 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 blah. Asked her some questions, and I wrote in a little special question at the bottom. And the question was like, will you go on a date with me? And so she's looking at the questions, and she's answering them, and she gets to that last question, and she goes, oh, no. And then I took the cyanide pill that was in my mouth. That's okay. Cyanide tastes like strawberries. But anyway, yeah, no, that was the most. And see, that happened a long time ago, and I was a little guy. I mean, I remember these traumatic. That's what I think. People remember those traumatic moments the most. I'm trying to think of another time I was horribly rejected. Oh, I know another time. Okay, this girl's name was Jennifer. Okay, so remember when I told you I was a little chunky kid? So I went up to this girl and I told her I liked her, and she knew I liked her, because like you're gonna know if I like you. You're just gonna know, and if I don't like you, you won't know. So I went up to her, and we were in the same classes and things like that, and I would always, you know, joke around with her, but she would kind of like joke back a little bit, you know, and like, oh, hee hee hee, you know, and joke back. And so I would ask her out, she would continually turn me down, continually tell me no. She even wrote in my yearbook, one of my yearbooks, because we went to school several years in a row. She wrote, something like, you're a good friend. I wish you weren't so annoying, or something like that. It's okay, it's only there forever. And I go, what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take? And she said, she goes, for you not to be annoying and for you to have a six-pack. And so I was like, well, of juice boxes? I can get that. And so what happened was, that was another, so what happened was, that year when she did that, I had already begun like a workout plan because like my stepdad like scared me into thinking that I was gonna have this heart attack when I was like 10 years old. So I was like eating a sandwich one day and I was about to take a bite of this awesome sandwich. And he goes, you know those are gonna give you a heart attack. I'm 10 years old. I pushed it away. I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I pushed it away, and that day I went home and I started working out. And so when she said this thing, I was like, all right, kicking it into gear. And then I worked hard at it. I worked hard at it. I got my little preteen six-pack. I did my, you know, all this kind of stuff. And then she called me up, and then she wanted to go out on a date, and I said no. She's the annoying one now. And then what's funny is years later, when voice acting kind of like did its thing, in which I am immensely grateful for. I am so thankful for everything that has come along in my career. I can't express to you how amazing it is to be able to do what you love, whatever that is for you guys. If you are doing what you love, it's an awesome feeling, and you're living doing what you love is incredible. She contacted me one day on Facebook, and she goes, "Hey, what's up? What's up? Shut down! Out of there! Yeah!" So, I think she got the message. So be nice to those little bowl-haired, cutted Asian boys that you run into, because they're gonna work out with a ferocity that you've never seen. So what inspired you to work out, Todd? Was it health goals, things like that? No, female rejection. No, but no. It's like that's my meditation. Like working out is my meditation. If I don't get my meditation, I go crazy and I get kind of cabin fever and stuff like that. Everyone has their meditation. Sometimes it's like driving in a car, playing a video game, maybe going for a walk. Mine is like punishing myself in the gym. That's mine. But yeah, no, it's been a wild ride. Everything that I've gotten to do. I mean, I think about all the roles I've had the pleasure to play, and all the shows and the video games I've been so lucky to be a part of, and the theater shows that I've been able to cut my teeth on and train under, and it's been an amazing ride. And a lot of times people ask me, what do you have to do to be a voice actor and all that kind of stuff, and I don't have a strong answer for you, because I know what I did, but doesn't mean it's going to work for you. It's a different path for everyone. It's not like being a doctor or a lawyer where you go to medical school and you do your residency and then you become a doctor and then you do a 9-to-5 for 30 years. It's not like that. This is a crazy business, man. You can rise to the top with success, and then you can say something like Paula Deen and your career is done. Oh, no. It can happen like that. So I don't have any advice that's going to send you to the finish line, because I don't know what that is. What I will tell you is there's one constant in my experience that I don't, and even this is not the same. But like education, like going to school and trying different things and going to college. I was supposed to go to, before I went to college, I was supposed to go to LA, and I was going to go and I was going to show the world. And I told my mama, I go, "Mom, I'm going to LA." And she goes, "No, you're going to go to college. And if you go to LA, you are on your own." And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." She goes, "If you stay, I will pay your way through college. If you go, you're on your own." I said, "Okay." I'm eating a can of beans, sleeping on a couch, going to college. And so I chose college. And I went to SMU, which is one of the top theater schools in the nation. They take 15 kids a year out of all the 15,000 that apply. And so I got in there and I went to that school, and I don't regret it at all. What a fantastic experience, because that's where you can fail. In school is where you can fail, not in your grades. Not in your grades. But in school is where you can make mistakes, and it's okay, because you learn from them and you get better at it, and bam, you go back out there and do it again. In the real world, you make a mistake, people will remember. They will remember forever. They will never let you forget the mistakes that you make. When you're in college or when you're in high school, they chalk it up to, he's learning, she's learning. It's an education. But when you get out in the real world, that thing is harsh. It's mean. It can be, especially if you want to go into something as competitive as the entertainment industry. And who knows, when you do different things in college, you may try other things that you may go in thinking, you know what, I want to be a voice actor or a voice actress. But then when you come out, you're like, you know what, I really like being a sound engineer. Or I like being a script writer. Or I like being a production coordinator. Or I like being, you know, XYZ. Because so many times people think in the entertainment industry, they're like, oh, you're in the entertainment industry. You must know how to make costumes from scratch, because that's in the entertainment industry. That's like me saying, oh, you're from Minnesota? Do you know my friend Barney? Yeah, he lives out in Bloomington. You don't know Barney. Minnesota's huge. That's like saying, oh, you went to Harvard? Hey, do you know my buddy? No, that's like a 15,000 person campus. I don't know your buddy name, whatever. So it's the same thing. There's so many different facets in the entertainment industry. So just try it out. That's what I would say to you. And you know what? You're going to make your parents super happy if you go to school. And making your parents happy is good, because you know what? At the end of the day, the people in your corner are your parents. At the end of the day, your mama and your daddy are there to have your back because they want what's best for you. Now, did I know that when I was younger? No! My mama was trying to hold me down, and I believed it. You don't want me to be happy. You don't want me to smile. You want my life to be a living H-E-double hockey stick. You don't want me to have joy. You want me to do all the things you want me to do. Mama was just looking out. She was looking out the best way she knew how. Guess what? We don't come with instruction manuals, unfortunately. When I open up my Xbox One and my PS4 later this year, they're going to have instruction manuals. Kids don't. So they're doing the best they can. So cut them some slack. Unless they're beating you, then you need to cut them. But anyway, so go to school. I'm going to answer that question right now because I know you're thinking about it. Just go to school and do stuff and try stuff. Don't experiment like the way you see in the movies when they talk about experimenting. That's something totally different. I'm talking about experimenting with education. That's what I mean. So do that. That's what I would say. That's what's going to lead you to success wherever it may lead you. Because who knows? Did I know that I was going to be in voice acting years ago? Like 7 years ago when I started? No! I just wanted a job. I was like, I've got this weird, kooky voice. I have a weird look. And I'm going to do the best I can with what I've got. And then bam, voice acting found me. I didn't seek it out. I didn't know what Funimation was. I had no clue what anime was. It found me, I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did. We've been married for 7 years. It's good. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and I'll be happy to answer them. You first.
How was it playing Apos and Brandado's Minezamine?
Thank you for pronouncing that, because I always get that wrong. Minezamine?
I think so.
Your guess is as good as mine. Playing Apos and Rin. That was quite an experience because I didn't know what happened at the end of the show to my character until the end. If you haven't seen that show, you're probably not going to watch it. So I'll spoil it for you. At the end, you discover that I have both parts of human anatomy.
Oh!
And I wish I'd known that at the beginning. Because I would have played that character differently. I totally would have played it differently. I would have played it differently. But I didn't know until the very end. Oh, you know what's a fun thing I discovered? There's a guy that I worked with the other day who's British, but he's been here for like 5 years and he has a perfect American accent. And I said, did you just adopt that when you came here? He goes, yeah, I came here when so I want to move to London, and I want to stay there for 5 years and pick up an accent and how to stay. And I want to come back. And then everyone's going to look at me and go, look at him, he's got an accent. Look at that. He's putting it on. I remember when he was living in Texas. I'm like, no, I've been living in London for 5 years. It's stuck. And look, now I think about flying mint bunnies. But we'll
Italian reference.
Next question. Yes.
Okay, what do you think would happen if Hikaru and Kaoru met Italy and Romano?
Oh!
Why are those two red-headed twins hugging each other so much? don't worry about it. We're about to play doctor. And then I would get creepy. Yes. What would Death the Kid say if he met the Hitachi twins? He would say, he would be like, they're symmetrical, but something's wrong. Say, yes.
Because like with me, I'm cosplaying that at one point. Part of the symmetry thing rubbed off on me. Did that ever happen with you at all at any point?
I have my little quirks. I have my quirks about like clothes that I have to wear and brands of things that I like just to, and brands of technology that I like over another, or yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, I think everybody's got their little quirks and things like that. Like some people, what's a weird one that I've heard of recently? I can't. Oh, my mother. Okay, my mom. She has this thing where like she saves. Like, I understand it. You save the little plastic bags and you come back from the store, you just recycle them. Like, you know, you put stuff in them or you line your trash can or whatever. She saves every single one of them and ties them into a neat little knot to save them. When you open up their pantry, there are hundreds of these things. They're very well organized. It's not like she's a hoarder. A messy hoarder. There are hundreds of these bags, and I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? Like she doesn't need to save them. Same thing with her dishes and stuff. Like she's this big time doctor and all this kind of stuff, and it's not like she can like she has these dishes that for some reason, because she came from Vietnam. So my mother came from Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and so she's been through war and she's been through poverty and things like that. So it's like that's like built into her because we're first, you know, I'm first generation immigrant to the U.S. So like she has that built in, even though she's this big successful doctor, she still has that mentality of like, oh my God, any day someone's going to come and take this stuff away from me. So she has these dishes that are as old as me, and like she has this one blue bowl that she washes all her vegetables in. That when I was playing original Zelda, I remember this bowl. That game came out in 1986, people. She still has the bowl. So, it's stuff like that. Mama. Yes?
Okay. What is your favorite line that any of your characters has ever said?
Well, in Sergeant Frog, I believe it's episode 9 or 10, the Covidians.
Yes,
When I mentioned something about Kululu, that's my favorite line. I can't say here, there are children present. The line in that episode is a completely improv line that I made up and we kept in. So that was a lot of fun. A different line, but that's my favorite line. Next question in the way back, in the mezzanine.
Can you go on a Death the Kid symmetry rant?
My cape is.
That's a good point. Your cape is completely asymmetrical because I look on one side and I go, oh, it's purple, and it's purple on the other side, but there are buttons on the left side, and then there's squiggly lines on the right, and there's nothing symmetrical about it. It makes me think that if she gets close to me, maybe I'll get asymmetrical, and I don't want you to come over here because then I don't want to become asymmetrical, and think about the lack of symmetry that is within me. Alrighty, let's see. Mocha ears? Yeah?
What was your favorite thing about voicing Ling Yao?
Favorite thing about voicing Ling was doing scenes where Ed was in them and the director had to cut some lines because I sounded too much like Vic and I sound almost exactly alike at some points in that show. We have to cut certain lines because of it. That was fun. Let's see. Yes, ma'am. Italy and Natsu. It's like, oh good, a fire dragon slayer. Can you cook up my pasta, please? Sure thing, fire dragon carbs! Stuff on fire. Let's see. Yes, ma'am. Am I more excited for the PS4 or the Xbox One? Well, here's my thing. Guys, here's the deal with these systems. Everyone's like, but the PS4 is $100 cheaper. Yeah, because the Xbox One comes with a Kinect. And also, guys, you're going to be playing these systems for like 8 years. Do you really think in 8 years the $100 extra you spent on a system is going to matter? No! Calculate, okay, in the lifetime of a system, you are going to play a video game system on average, roughly, like, it's something crazy, like 20,000 hours or something like that. If you break that down and you compare that to how much you spend on a 1 2-hour experience to go to the movies, that system is a complete steal. You are getting such a value. And so for me, I'm going to get both only because I don't want to choose. But if I had to choose, I would still get both. Okay. Let's see. Yes.
What was your favorite part in Orin High as Hikaru?
My favorite part in that show was when we dressed up in the Alice in Wonderland. Yes, ma'am. But you have long hair. That's why I thought. I apologize.
Sergeant Frog.
Yeah.
I was watching it and then it stopped airing. Why?
Yes, sir, it did. Because, okay, I'll tell you why. Actually, how many people in here have seen Sergeant Frog? Yeah, keep those hands up. Keep them up. Hold them up. Hold them up. Out of these people, how many people bought Sergeant Frog? That's your answer. That's why. That's why. We love Sergeant Frog. We totally watched it. Did you buy it? Well, I like it. I didn't love it. But streaming it, that counts as supporting it. That's totally cool too. But there are some people that haven't streamed it, and that's kind of what ultimately hurt it, was because, and also I think it wasn't marketed quite properly, because kids saw it and they're like, hey, great, this is a cool show. But kind of the older generation saw it and like, that's a kid's show, when it's really not. It's kind of like a little bit of both for everybody, you know? That was kind of fun. I wish it would stick around because there are like 323 episodes and we did 83. So I wish it would stick around, but sadly, I don't know. Same with D. Gray Man. I wish that show would come back. Hey, I would love to do it. I'm ready to kick some Akuma booty. Yes, the horribly damaged person right there.
What did you think about your character in Scream of the Banshee?
Oh, and Scream of the Banshee. That was a lot of fun. I love doing that. Scream of the Banshee was a horror movie that I did, and it airs on Sci-Fi all the time. That was an awesome experience, because I love making movies. I love being on sets and things like that. We moved very quickly on that movie. We shot that entire movie in 15 days, which is unheard of for a feature-length movie. But because of that, we had to cut a lot of corners on it, honestly, and we had to do some. We had to cut some things. Like there were scenes that were going to take place in the rain, but at the last minute it was too much to get a rain crane, and then we had to cancel that and do something else. But it was a fun experience, and I got to hang out with Lauren Holly and Lance Hendrickson. They were a lot of fun and very nice people. And I was supposed to die actually in the movie, but the producers came on set and they're like, "No, we like him. Let's save him for the sequel." So they changed the ending to keep me alive. So that was kind of fun. Well, hey, there you go. But that just means I'm going to die in the sequel. Because you know how that works. Like the person stays alive in the first part only to die in the second part to usher in the new crew.
Do you have any questions you want to ask? Sure.
Death.
Thank you for giving me a voice.
Oh my. They make these tiny little baby Pocky? Nice, thank you. Yes. You look fabulous. Look very nice. Thank you for my many little pocky corn dogs. I dig it. That is awesome. This is the first time I've gotten these. Thank you. Stay symmetrical. Little baby. Okay. Plastic flavored. Let's see. Let's go into the China.
Have you gotten a chance to see Izumo Kusanagi yet from K?
Yes.
What's your impression of him?
He's very awesome.
Well, I know that he has like a Kyoto accent in the Japanese dub, so how are you going to voice him?
We didn't do that. You'll have to let me know what you think when you see it. It was fun to do. It was fun to work on. Now we just got to sit back and let it get released. So we'll see. There's a lot of shows that I want to talk about that are coming up that I wish I could say, but it's fun. I would love to talk about them, but they get mad at me. And, Happy.
What is your favorite part about being Natsu?
Favorite part about being Natsu is, I would say, the violence. I love doing fighting shows. And doing shows where there are these epic battles and these yells, these crazy yells that I get to do, and fighting like the Gagio fight is one of my faves. When he does that face plant, he runs his face into the ground for like a mile. It's really cool. Like, I love that kind of stuff. Man, when I was a kid, I used to fight all the time. I would get into real fights, but then I would fight with my toys. And we would, not like me, like going, would you say He-Man? Not like that. I mean, like, the toys would fight. Is that Batman? Hit me in the face and say it. Here's your car, smash. Not like that. But no, yeah, I just love those fighting shows. I'm playing those video games, where like Mega Man and stuff like that, doing all that kind of stuff. And I never see a really good Mega Man cosplay, folks. There are two things I want to see. I want to see a good Mega Man cosplay, and I want to see someone cosplay a Haberkorn. Now, come on, why hasn't that happened yet? Anyway, I digress. But yeah, I love those kind of action shows and things like that. My throat doesn't, but I do. Like, I got scared one time when I recorded on the show Rage, video game Rage. So that's a video game by id Software. Those are by the guys that did Doom. And so their follow-up game was Rage, and it was supposed to be this spectacular, wonderful thing that was going to have a sequel. Never did. It didn't do so hot. But that doesn't mean I didn't suffer for it. So when I went into the booth, has anyone ever played Rage? You guys okay? So it's about 7 people. That's cool, though. That's cool. Thank you for playing that game. So you know that town you go to where the guys are like this? You know, it's a whole town of them. It's very early on. It's like the first kind of like, you know what I'm talking about, the set piece you get to. I play every one of those guys. So imagine my voice being down here. But that yelling. And so what happened was we typically when you record a video game, you do a pass of 3 on every single line. And so I had 315 lines. Well, that quickly turns into 945 lines. And so you have yells, you have things like, he's over there, but yelling it. I don't want to do it now because my throat will tense up and I don't like that. But yelling, dying reactions, getting hit reactions, attacking reactions, all that kind of stuff. Very, very, very difficult on the voice. And so this was a 4-hour session. And the first 15 minutes I'm drenched. I'm completely soaked in sweat because I am just like, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs here, and it hurts badly. And so it got a little weird. And so what I said was, so in this booth, there's a camera in the corner that shows me to the engineer and the director, so they can see me, I can't see them. And so what I told them, I go, guys, because I was freezing, because I'm sweating, but my shirt is like completely soaked, and it's cold, it's getting cold. So I'm like hot but freezing, and so I was like, guys, I don't mean to get weird, but can I record topless? And they said, sure. And so I'm the only voice actor to ever record topless in that studio. But I had to because I was completely soaked. And so at the end of the session, my voice was probably 7 octaves lower than what it usually is. And I could not, it was one of the, I don't know if you've ever lost your voice, but it's that type of voice loss where when you go, ah, nothing comes out. I lost my voice for 9 days. So I'm talking like nothing comes out, not even a whisper. 0 was coming out for 9 days. Day 1, I'm like, okay, this is fun. Have your laugh, vocal cords, this is cool. Day 2 is like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Day 3 comes by, it's like, guys, we coming back or what's? Day 4 and 5 is like, okay, all right, what do I need to do to make this happen? And then I'm getting scared because like 9 days. You guys, I'm sure, because I do, we complain about waiting in line at like Disneyland for like 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes. I'm talking about 9 days. Like, I go to bed at night, wake up and go, is it back? No, it's not. So I was really worried, but it came back finally, and I lose my voice quite a bit actually from all the yelling and stuff. And there are certain things that I can't hit certain levels in my range anymore. And you can't really hear it now, but there's like a scratchiness. There's like, you know when you get gravel or something in like a can and you shake it up and you can't quite get it out? That's what's permanently in my voice. You can't hear it now, but when we're in a sound booth and I'm talking on the mic, you'll be able to hear it, and that's the biggest note I get every single time. They're like, okay, that sounds good. Take some of the gravel out of it. I can't. It's a built-in feature. Like Wi-Fi. Okay, so I've got a couple more minutes here. Fire hair.
What is your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal, I've got a couple. You ready for some cereal stank? I like, everybody's got to love Cocoa Puffs. That Reese's Pieces cereal is pretty good in a pinch. I like Blueberry. I like Count Chocula. Lucky Charms. Captain Crunch Berries. Captain Crunch is like, man, you ever burn your mouth on a meal and then eat a bowl of Captain Crunch? Don't do that. That Captain Crunch is out for vengeance and blood. I like Golden Grams, of course. Fruity Pebbles. Corn Pops, if that's all there is. And I'm at a friend's house and I don't want to be rude. Kashi cereal, no. Get thee away from me. What other cereals? Yeah, any kind of Kashi. Grape Nuts, if it's got to be a special day for Grape Nuts. Again, if I don't want to be rude at a friend's house and that's all they've got, I'll eat it. Honey Bunches of O's. Then there are the flake cereals, like Corn Flakes and stuff like that. Corn Flakes need sugar. Frosted Flakes pretty good, a little too much sugar. Chex, kind of boring, but I'll do it. Pretty much every cereal known to man. I'm trying to think of a cereal that I dislike, that every time I see it I just want to rip its box off. Man, I think I will eat any cereal. Do they have like Sugar Smacks anymore? Like, you know what I'm talking about? With the frog on it? Yeah. Right? The frog, obviously. Obviously, I like frog cereal. Yeah, I'll eat anything. Any cereal. Okay, yes, sir. Uh-huh.
Can you give us the Fire Dragon Roar?
Oh.
Fire Dragon Roar!
Look at him, he's like, oh my god.
Why did I do that? That hurt.
Poor baby.
Okay. Let's see. How about... Let's go. Yes, sir, in the very back. That would... Yep, huh? Are there any roles that I'm interested in doing? Anything in the... Well, hold on. Batman. I would love to... Any major comic book hero I would love to do. I've auditioned for all of them. Marvel has asked me to audition for Spider-Man. I can't tell you how many times. And I think they're just doing it for their sick amusement because they don't give it to me. But I've auditioned for Spider-Man multiple times. I feel like I can now shoot webs out of my wrists. Yes, Sergeant Frog. One of my very favorite roles. And if he encountered the Hitachi twins, he would probably look at them, stare for a bit, realize they had lots of money, and then steal that money to buy more Gundam. Let's see. How about... Yes, ma'am, the girl that I saw in the elevator earlier.
My cousin's here on the phone, and I was wondering if you could surprise her with your Italy voice.
Oh, come on up here. What's her name?
Megan.
Megan.
Say pasta!
Say pasta.
Pasta!
Hello? What are you doing? It better involve pasta. I hope you're either making pasta or you're making a Vic Mignogna voodoo doll.
Let's see. I have time for just a couple more. Oh, okay. Hi. Yes.
How did you get involved with Funimation?
How did I get... It was just an audition. It was an audition. I went in and they didn't hate it.
Do you have anything yet?
They didn't
Because I'll
kick
be
me out.
willing to ask one of your questions.
And they let me stay and they kind of liked it. And they're like, "We need, hey, where's that boy
I don't
with
have
that,
anything. I
that
can't.
there
Do you guys
feminine
have any
voice?"
questions?
Yeah, you should have a
you don't have
bowl
any
haircut.
questions.
Where is she?
No, I just came here to fangirl.
Come on in here. And then I kept coming back, and then I began directing and writing for them and producing and all this kind of fun stuff. And I had a blast doing it, and they continue to do it to this day, and I hope it continues for another 100 years. But at 100 years, I'm out. No more. Let's see. How about, yes. My favorite line from Italia. Let's see.
Night, night, don't let the manana bugs bite.
I think that was in the director's cut. Let's see. By the door. Yes. Oh, the Tribute Wars? We finished. Yeah. The Todd of the Rings was his last one, and then Manana Chronicles was my final one. We were done. I mean, it takes a lot of time to do those. I had college interns getting college credit working on mine. I mean, it was just getting out of control. They did. They got 3 credit hours for working. That's pretty good, isn't it? Like 3 credit hours? That's pretty good, isn't it? 3 credit hours to work on a Manana Chronicle. I like it. So that was very exciting. But, and then Todd of the Rings, I mean, he went to New Zealand to shoot it. I mean, it was getting way out of control. The only thing that we could do past then is go to space. Quite frankly, I don't want to sit on the plane that long. Yes, ma'am.
Who is your favorite country besides Italy?
My favorite country besides Candyland. Let's see. Yes. About to eat a flag, yes. I'll sing as much as they know.
Germany, Germany, Germany is a really, really nice place. It even gives you food, and it doesn't suck like English food. Sausages and cheeses, they always taste so good. It'd be heaven for a dog. Yeah, that's Germany. Yahoo!
Let's see, I'll take 2 more questions, and then I don't want to be rude to the next people that are going to be in here. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes sir, with you.
Oh, big Julius. Okay.
Oh. Hi, Greed.
Any other homunculus, who would you want to be?
Any other? I think Envy. Envy's pretty cool. I would be Envy. Yeah. Yeah. Last question. Okay, in the very back. You. Yeah. You're dressed as Tails, right? Yeah. Bingo.
What was your favorite line in Full Metal?
Favorite line of Full Metal? Was there a line that talked about Ed dying? That's my favorite line. I kid. So after this panel, in 1 hour, I'll be signing autographs with Monica. If you want, I have these convention-exclusive headshots if you want to get those. They have like my characters on them and stuff like that, and I'm on there. They're $10. Bring them. They're 8x10s. I'll sign them. Bring it on. I'll be down there in 1 hour. Also, there are other panels tomorrow, right? There's like some groovy panels. Here's my little prescription of panels. I've got some stuff going on. Yeah. To the autographs is the only thing tonight. Then there's like a lot of stuff tomorrow is the big day. And there's blood and guts that are going to be shed in all those panels. So it's going to be cool. But thank you guys so much for being here. And I'm going to get out of here. You guys have been so gracious. Thank you.